because you've got Josh McDaniels, who has a connection. The GM of the Raiders is an old Patriot guy. And then you look around, you got Jacksonville, who suddenly is trending upwards, and they have a chance to get in the playoffs this weekend. That would be a sweet landing spot in terms of football. And Trevor Lawrence has leapfrogged a number of other young quarterbacks and become one of the top darlings of the NFL quarterback position. And I imagine how he would dominate, I would think, with Trevor Lawrence after surviving a year with Derek Carr. And Jacksonville has Christian Kirk and Marvin Jones as their top two receivers. So Devontae Adams would absolutely tip the scales in that situation. All right, it is the Ben Maller Show. As we continue on, we'll take your phone calls here at 877-99 on Fox. We do value your opinion. Doesn't mean we like it. 877-996-6369. Also on Twitter, at Ben Maller. If you'd like to be part of the Talk Festivus, you can join the fun. It's a case of Pinky and the Puke. Not Pinky and the Brain, Pinky and the Puke. We'll get to that, and we will do it next. But hey, it's Maller here for TireRack.com. They love tires, and since 1979, they've been helping people find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Their team of experts has the knowledge and passion to assist every driver, and they're just a phone call or a click away. The website is packed with information, advice, and tools that make buying the right tires a snap, like the Tire Decision Guide. What's that, you ask? You just answer a few questions, and you'll get a personalized tire recommendation in 2 minutes or less. They sell only the best brands in the industry, like the high-performance hand-cooked Ventus tire, the all-season Optimo lineup, and the off-road capable hand-cooked Dynapro light truck and SUV tire. Ratings, reviews, test results, and a national network of over 10,000 recommended installers, free road hazard protection, and fast free shipping with delivery in as little as 1 day in many areas. They even offer mobile tire installation that comes to your home or office. Tire installation on your terms, game changer. I'm telling you, go to TireRack.com/sports and see for yourself. That's TireRack.com/sports, TireRack.com. The way tire buying should be.
We ought to need somebody to lean on.
You lean on us.
There's one thing that everybody is talking about, and it's this.
Whether the news is good or bad.
This is as serious of a situation I've ever seen at a football game.
You trust us to deliver our opinions and facts. We are Fox Sports Radio.
When you open up a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van, you're unlocking potential. The potential to do your own thing. Be your own boss. Steer your own success. Blaze your own trail. Each and every Sprinter van built, designed, and equipped to let you hit the open road and take on any goal. To help you follow your passions, reawaken that spirit of adventure, check all of those big, bold, exciting experiences off your bucket list. Owning a Sprinter van lets you live, work, and play out your dreams wherever they take you. 16 body types, a choice of gas or diesel engine, thousands of ways to customize. It's capable and versatile enough to help drive your ambitions. And now you can win your own Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van customized by Gretsch RV by entering the Dan Patrick Show's Ultimate Fan Van Sweepstakes. To enter, get official rules, visit danpatrick.com for your chance to win the Sprinter van. So go ahead. Now's the time. Unlock your potential inside a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van.
If you want to experience the unmatched flavor of live fire grilling, then look no further than the Big Green Egg. Forget the pellets, the propane, the knockoffs. Roll with the best. An authentic Big Green Egg grill backed by a free lifetime warranty. Yeah, lifetime. It's that good. Grill, roast, smoke, or bake. It's versatile, easy to light, and simple to use. Shop online for free home delivery at BigGreenEgg.com. That's free home delivery to your door. Let your grilling adventure begin. Visit BigGreenEgg.com.
The new year isn't the end of the holiday rush for your small business. January means customer emails, returns, and then higher postage costs. Stamps.com teamed up with the post office to get you huge mailing and shipping discounts up to 86% off. It's a new year no-brainer. Instantly find the fastest and cheapest shipping solutions and print USPS and UPS postage right from your computer. Save serious money with Stamps.com this year. Use code 2PROS for a 4-week trial, free postage, and a free digital scale. Stamps.com, code 2PROS.
Why do people seem to think, Brett Kane, that the Broncos ownership group, because they are very, very rich, they're the richest owners in the league by far, why does that matter? Every NFL owner is a billionaire.
Lombardi.
People make the mistake that just because somebody is wealthy doesn't mean they're willing to spend a lot of money. Wealth doesn't equate spendthriftiness. Wealth is acquired. What's the separation that we're talking about here?
Wake up with Brett Kane at 6 a.m. Then it's Mosher, Lombardi, and Kane at 7. Altitude Sports Radio 92.5.
They're dropping knowledge like this.
But just understand that not everybody is made for this. And when you're now watching a lot of sports coverage of an event that is a news event, that suddenly now is, yes, it's about sports because Damar Hamlin's a football player, but now this is about what's next. Like I want the coverage to be, hey, let's get more updates from the hospital. Let's find out what's going on. Officially, again, he's listed in critical condition per a statement from the league. You know, this is a story. This is what we are after now, what we are chasing. And not everybody is made to do this. You know, it's not, it's one thing to turn on CNN or Fox News or something when something big is going on in the world, right? Because, hey, this is their wheelhouse, right? The political pundits and the experts, they get paid. They can go on and do 4-hour shows on a decision by the Supreme Court or something with with an election. This is what they do. They freelance and talk. That's what they do for 4 or 5 hours because that's their wheelhouse. All right, now think about this. We go on the air, we talk for 4 hours a night. People talk for 4 hours a night on things, and during the day, shows are long. Why? Because sports is our wheelhouse, right? It's what it is. Sports is the wheelhouse of why we can go on and talk about sports. Well, you and I can talk about sports for 4 hours a night now, almost going on our 10th year in a few days. So it's that way. But now that things have changed a little bit, it's going to be different. And the coverage of this is going to be a little bit different than you think because you now have, I don't want to say a story that it bisects both sports and humanity, but you're talking about now you're going to watch sports people try to cover a medical story.
To get the rest of what Jason Smith and Mike Harmon said, podcast it by searching The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon. And as always, you can hear The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio.
There's still a tingle in the dingle.
Some shows just know how to have fun.
Woohoo!
And Steve Covino and Rich Davis know a thing or two about having fun.
No, you should have the nervous part.
So join the party.
Like, I've cried one time in the past 10-plus years.
Put in your diaper, sports baby.
It's Covino and Rich. Having fun.
This is going to be fun.
We all look sillier than ever.
It's what we do here.
Weekdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. Fox Sports Radio.
Here we go.
So how do you like it?
The question is this.
You like it like this?
I'm strictly talking basketball.
Or like this?
Baseball tends to be, of all our sports, very much steeped in tradition.
And what about this?
Basically, the NFL has found ways to make money off of everything.
Whatever it is that you like, we've got it covered. It's sports the way you like it on Fox Sports Radio. FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1.
Studies show that more than 244 million American adults listen to radio each month, but only 1% actually contribute content. You can join that small fraternity of P1s on the Ben Maller Show. It's painless and simple. Just follow your host on Twitter. He's at Ben Maller. And you can tweet at and follow our executive producer. He is manning the phones, but he's more than just a call screener. He's the liar and the menace of the Fox Sports Radio Network. It's the Coop de Loop, Justin Cooper, and he's at UH Bronco Fan. And now live from the TireRack.com Fox Sports Radio studios, it's Ben Maller.
Jim in the Q's writes in, he says, A+ on the Maller monologue, a Devontae Adams-themed Maller monologue. He says, Adams' first response leads me to believe he has a definite future as a politician. A lot of words there, and if you listen, it's great. There's an art to that, and I give Adams credit. He did say the word obviously too much, but I give him credit because that's what Weasley politicians do. When you listen to them and you don't pay close attention, you listen with half an ear, you're like, okay, there we go. That guy said what I wanted that politician to say. And then when you go back and actually listen to what they say, it's all weasel words, and it's not any definitive statement that's in there, if you get what I'm saying. Late Night Drug Tester writes in from parts unknown. He says, sure, Davante Adams is confident in Raiders ownership to make the right decision, just like haircuts, cars, and Chinese food. Yeah. Well, the Raiders, I think Mark Davis still hangs out at that PF Chang's. A big fan of that. Alex the Cynical in Houston writes in. He says, I woke up in the middle of your Maller monologue, which means you get a C-. Well, no. See, I get an A, you get an F. Bad job by you. You can't wake up in the middle of a Maller monologue. What's wrong with you? Shame on you. That's what I say. Shame on you. All right, we'll take some calls here at 877-99 on Fox. Also, later this hour, we will have Maller to the Third Degree. And since I keep getting messages from people on my email, I don't know why you would email me, but I know I've been away on Thursdays into Friday recently. It took a few long weekends at the end of the year. Lame Jokes will be back this week. We will have Lame Jokes back this week. So if you're interested in being one of our underpaid, underappreciated joke writers, if you think you're funny and other people want to hear your jokes, you can send them in. They can be about people on the show. They can be about people in sports, whatever you think is hilarious. Now, keep in mind, we are governed by the Federal Communications Commission, which means many of the greatest jokes, like there's this guy in Youngstown, Ohio, who is a prolific joke writer, but we can't read most of the jokes because they're like X-rated jokes. We love them, and I use them with my friends, and I share them with my buddies, but unfortunately on terrestrial radio, we're still a little bit back in the Stone Age there where we can't use those jokes, and so that's just the reality. But I know Gary in Youngstown sent a bunch in, but if you want to send jokes in, you can do that care of the Ben Maller Show email, which is benmallershow@gmail.com. Ben Maller Show, make sure the show's in there, at gmail.com, and you can be part of the program. Mark, the full name guy, I see him listening in Medford, Oregon, and he said, Mark, your engineer just called out some legendary names from back in the day when I knew a 6-team league was the entire NHL. Bobby Hull and Stan Mikita often on the same line with Dennis Hull at left wing. He's like a whole hockey thing here, but Mark, the full name guy. I guess it's all Mark and Mark approve each other. But you got a fan, Mark. Mark, the full name guy in Oregon's a fan of your work. So congratulations, Mark. There you go. All right, ring the bell right there. All right, let's take some calls. We'll go to the phones. We'll say hello to Steve in Manhattan. Hello, Steve. Welcome. Whoa. Steve must be on the other line calling into some other radio. She's probably on Coast to Coast talking about chemtrails as we speak right now. Hello, Steve. Are you there, Steve? Wake up, Steve. All right, he's gone. And bye-bye to him. We'll say hello to Andrea in Berkeley. The sports sorceress is standing by at her compound in Northern California as she bunkers down from that bomb cyclone. What's going on, Andrea?
Hi, Ben. How are you?
If I was any better, I'd be the weather, but no, I wouldn't because the weather stinks.
Well, you know, it's interesting you said that. We actually just had like a big, loud thunder strike. It sounded like a bomb.
Yeah, well, that's got the name. I mentioned this in a previous episode of the show, but the marketing terms used by weather people, outstanding. Right? These are terms I never heard when I was a kid. I never heard bomb cyclone when I was a kid, or atmospheric river. No, those are all things that are new. They're good marketing.
Yeah, I mean, especially growing up in New York, we had super intense weather. weather and rain, but I never heard the term bomb cycle, and sure enough, just really super loud thunder and lightning. But hey, I'll stay on the phone until I can't stay on the phone anymore.
Well, you got a roof. You got a roof, so
yes,
you're good to go. And living on the East Coast, you had the nor'easters you had to deal with. Right. That was a thing. And, what's the difference between a bomb cyclone and a nor'easter? That's the question.
Yeah, good question. I don't know. But, we're taking it one day at a time. And I know, are you getting a lot of rain in L.A. too?
It's more of a light rain, not a...
Oh, okay.
But it never rains in L.A., as you know, so when it does rain here...
I was going to say, this is basically a monsoon for us.
Well, by L.A. standards, but yeah.
Yeah, no, what was that song? It Never Rains in California. But be that as it may, staying in, I watched Bull Durham on MLB Network and then Moneyball and catching up on some charts and listening to MLB Network, and there's Rafael Devers and a huge contract extension. And here's the thing, Ben, with Mercury retrograde, Correa is having his contract reassessed, reviewed, rethought, which is a good thing because his forecast is a hot mess. And I'm not really a big fan of, 10-year plus contracts. And let's see, and Dominican Republic birth dates, Ben, can be notoriously inaccurate.
Are you saying he's much younger than his actual listed age? Is that what you're saying?
The other way around, my friend, much older.
Yeah, that's the legend.
They make themselves, younger, right?
They make themselves more marketable, is what they do. So
that's the bottom line. Younger, older, whatever fits their needs, but usually they make themselves younger. So that said, I'll still go with, what they said his birth date was. And he is a transformational Scorpio. And that is October 24, 1996. But you know me, I'm always talking about Mars being a crucial planet for an athlete. And he has Mars in Leo. Saturn in Aquarius by transit will oppose it, rules the skeletal structure, bones, knees, teeth, joints. Uranus will be squaring it, the Saturn-Uranus square that I speak very much about. And it's not till 2025, but, that's not all that far away, and Korea is having similar problems as well. So these long-term transits, buyer beware. That's what I really want to say about that, and manage our expectations.
Yeah. No, it's going to be, by the end, it's going to be a debacle, but
right.
It'll be fun for the first 5 or 6 years because Devers should be perfect and great. Although, I remember when I was doing stuff locally, there were people concerned about whether he was going to stay in shape or not, and they were concerned about that part of it. But it's always, you give a guy a 10-year contract, that money's guaranteed.
Yeah, is it guaranteed in other sports?
You're still going to work out as much as you had in the past? I don't know.
Probably not. Really early on, the second, third year looks challenging.
That's what I always say, Andrew. Management is, many times they've come to me and say, Ben, we love the overnight show at Fox. We want to give you a 10-year contract. I say, no. I'll lose my focus. I won't be able to handle it. And so, yes, I turned down the big money. How many times have they offered me cowherd money, right? Every year they offer me cowherd money, and I say, I don't want cowherd money. No, I want to be more relatable. That's what I always say. I don't want to make the big money. I want to relate to the common man. And you know what? This company has allowed me to continue to do that, and I thank them for that.
Oh, nice. We never knew that about that.
Exactly.
Thank you for sharing,
all right.
Ben.
Well, thank you, Andrea. I appreciate that. All right.
Thank you.
All right, there she goes. Get back to the bomb cyclone right now. That was amazing, Coop. That was... Oh, wonderful.
Sports Center all night. ESPN Radio. As we know, Week 18 is here, but there's still a big question mark regarding Week 17. The Bills and Bengals were a key matchup in Week 17. The Monday night game that was postponed when Damar Hamlin went into cardiac arrest on the field. The team says he's been showing signs of improvement, but does remain in intensive care. Meanwhile, Week 18 is on tap here. But as for that postponed game, Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow.
We have not been asked that. I'm sure if you polled the locker room, there'd be mixed votes on that. Personally, I think playing is going to be tough, but there's people that want to play too, and there's people that don't. And so personally, I probably want to play. I think getting back to as normal as you can, as fast as you can, is personally how I deal with these kind of things. But like I said, everybody has a different way of dealing with it. I think that would be tough. Just scheduling wise, I think whatever Buffalo would want to do would be what we would want to do as well. We're behind them 100% and support them in whatever they would decide to do going forward.
And as for the feelings in Buffalo, ESPN's Jeremy Fowler.
Talking with Bills people, they're a little bit skeptical right now that this game could be made up because they're all in on New England right now. Now, they're professionals. Even though they're hurting from their teammate, they have to prepare for the New England Patriots on Sunday. That's the schedule. So they're really not thinking about the Bengals, and there's no clean way to do it. I talked to a league source who deals with scheduling matters who said that Commissioner Roger Goodell will likely exhaust all options. Maybe they could push the wild card games back a few days or push the whole playoffs back a week leading into the bye week of the Super Bowl. But that is a tall task. So right now there's not really a lot of momentum for a shift in the game.
So how do we see the NFL handling the AFC playoff seedings? ESPN's Adam Schefter.
You've got a situation where the NFL has had 2 years where we can remember postponed games. The 9/11 year, where they pushed things back a week, and the year of the pandemic, where there were 15 different games that were postponed and rescheduled. In this particular case, I actually spoke to somebody yesterday that said the game from Monday night has bad mojo, that the league, one person in the league would like to just see it go away altogether. Now, people say that that's unfair. Well, life isn't fair, as we saw on Monday night, and that may just be the way it is. It counts as a no contest, and you go on from there. The other scenario would be that there is a week in which the Pro Bowl skills competition is scheduled. So if the NFL needed to find a cushion in the schedule to push things back 1 week, if that's what it ultimately decided, that would be the week it would have to play around with. It could have obviously opted to delay the games this week, which it did not do. The games for this upcoming week are scheduled to go on as planned. So the league can go through these scenarios knowing that it's got that 1 week buffer that it could always flex to if it needs to. It's also possible that the league will just ultimately decide we're just going to continue to go right on here and not play that game. And the way it shakes out is the way it shakes out. And if the Bengals win the AFC North because they didn't play on Monday night, or the Bills can't get home field advantage because they didn't have that extra game, so be it. You have 16 games to prove your worth and your value, and you got done what you got done during that time period. But these are the decisions the league can and will make and doesn't have to make right now and hasn't. Just some basic discussions, but the league will see how everything's proceeding first and foremost with Damar Hamlin, then this week, and make decisions before we hear if that game will wind up being resumed.
Certainly a lot of options on the table. As Jeremy Fowler had noted, there's no clean way to do it. Somebody's going to be upset if the game is replayed. Someone else is going to be upset if the game is not replayed, and it makes a change in the standings in the AFC. Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio. Not playing that Bills-Bengals matchup may make sense on the surface, but there is a lot more to consider. Earlier on ESPN Radio, our Jason Fitz.
The hard part about this is if you're telling everybody, hey, we're not playing the game, the human portion of this, if you go to the players and say, sorry, we're just not playing the game, I think there's a lot of people that look at it and say, I get it. But you're absolutely right. The trickle-down effect, not even just for these teams, but if you're the Ravens, I mean, the Ravens should have something to play for. So if you're Baltimore, you're sitting there saying, I understand how awful all of this is, but I still want to get that game played, you know? And so there's this level for me, Harry, where if you've put in the sacrifice that everybody puts into play every single week, you want to have the opportunity to control your own destiny. So the simple answer for so many people is just to say, well, cancel the game. We're not going to play it. That creates so many layers of complexity. Also, that doesn't even factor in using the Ravens as an example right now. The Ravens, it might be an outside shot, but they got a shot at winning their division, right? So if that game is played. So if you're the Ravens, you're sitting there saying playoff bonuses go out the window. You're talking about livelihoods that change. Even going all the way into next year, you'll be talking about draft status that is impacted by win percentages where two teams played one less game. Like the trickle-down impact of this, all stuff that doesn't matter. I mean, I understand that because we are talking about something far bigger than football doesn't matter. But when we have the football conversation, it is still fair to have full context around that entire conversation. The trickle-down effects of not playing this game, the human being in me nods my head and says, wow, that makes total sense. Like the other side of it, the football person in me looks at it and says, well, my God, that doesn't make any sense at all.
Damar Hamlin is the most important thing right now, and we will continue to pray that he's going to make it through and be okay. Now, when we have the football talk, it's something that you have to bring up because you think of the Kansas City Chiefs, right? Since Patrick Mahomes became the starting quarterback, they have hosted the AFC Championship game every single year. You don't think the Kansas City Chiefs would love to have that number one seed? You don't think the Cincinnati Bengals, who went to the Super Bowl last year and had to play every game on the road, would love the number one seed? You don't think the Buffalo Bills, who haven't won a playoff game since Josh Allen has been their quarterback away from home, wouldn't love the number one seed? I think all three of those teams would love it. You don't think the Baltimore Ravens would love to win the AFC North if they had an opportunity to do that? Yes, all those things are true. So when I look at the National Football League and I look at Roger Goodell and the NFL and Troy Vincent, however you want to figure it out, try to figure it out so this game can get played, and we can figure out the logistics of it after that.
Harry Douglas, Jason Fitz and Harry, weekdays at noon Eastern here on ESPN Radio. Sports Center all night. We do have the Week 18 schedule coming up, regardless of what happens down the line with the Week 17 matchup between the Bills and the Bengals. Week 18 will wrap up Sunday night, Lions and Packers. Is it Aaron Rodgers' final home game?
I'm going to take some time after the season. I got a lot of great memories here at Lambeau, and hopefully can add another one on Sunday.
Do you expect that thought at all to go through your mind on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Just because you don't know what the future holds. But when I think about that, it's nothing but gratitude. Not remorse or sadness. Just gratitude for the time that I've been here, the amazing memories that I've had on this field. Been a lot of great moments. But, I'm still undecided. We're all undecided about the future. We're just going to enjoy Sunday night and hopefully have some more to play for.
And if the Packers do beat the Lions, they are into the playoffs. Won't get a home game, but Aaron Rodgers would take the Packers into the postseason, something we certainly didn't expect earlier in the season when Green Bay was struggling, but it's been quite a turnaround. ESPN analyst Marcus Spears.
They've turned it around defensively, and I know this offense has been what they've been all season, but the passing connection with these wide receivers have improved. But defensively, the takeaways is the story of this turnaround. You think about going all the way back to the Dallas game. It was 2 interceptions against Dak Prescott. That was a close game. The 3 interceptions, obviously, 2 are being concussed, but it was still 3 turnovers. Last week, we watched them against Minnesota turn the football over again. Kirk Cousins actually had trouble in coverage when Justin Jefferson was out of the game. So when you think about what they've been able to do from a defensive standpoint, in turn, it helps what you want to do offensively. Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon have been the bell cow for this offense. They are the reason that they were winning the 4 games that they won in the previous season. Aaron Rodgers, I got to give credit, though, man, because he told us I had the Green Bay Packers no shot at getting in the playoffs. And the reason was not because I didn't think they would improve. I didn't think all of the other teams would fall off the face of the earth like they have. But when you look at this team, defensively, if the Green Bay Packers can continue on this trend and this trajectory, and people get nervous about turnovers. They don't think that turnovers come in droves. I played in this league long enough. When you start getting them, it feels like it just starts happening. It opens up everything. So they're not only creating extra possessions for this offense that needed to get a kickstart. Now the rapport between Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs, and we see what Aaron is starting to do with these young fellas. The running game is still prevalent. That is how Green Bay is going to manufacture yards offensively, but defensively is why this turnaround has happened.
Packers and Lions in the Sunday night game. Green Bay wins. Green Bay is in. Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio. Back to hoops. Pistons and Warriors Wednesday coming down to the closing seconds.
1 second remaining in a tie game. Hayes gets it in. Sadiq fires. Oh!
He nailed it. Wow.
Sadiq Bey with 17 on the night, including the game-winning three-pointer at the buzzer. Pistons beat the Warriors 122-119. 97 won the ticket. Klay Thompson, 30 points in the loss for Golden State, which is now 5-7 in games without Steph Curry this season. Lakers and Heat.
15 seconds to go. Schroeder goes into the backcourt. They throw it to Westbrook for a layup, and it's good. And he's fouled. Wow. That might do it. What a pass from Austin Reeves.
Lakers a 112-109 win over the Heat. Russell Westbrook finishes with 21 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds.
An incredible performance by you guys tonight. Shorthanded. You, Schroeder, Thomas Bryant, big games tonight. You were very vocal in those huddles. What was the message tonight to your teammates?
Compete. When our guys are down, and we got a bunch of feisty young guys ready to compete, and tonight we competed our ass off, and big win for us. Excuse my language, sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. 4 of the last 5 for you guys. Obviously, the West is tough, but it's close and bunched together. What does a win like this say about you guys and your squad?
It's a big win for us, man, especially coming off a long road trip. A big home win against a great team, and tonight we showed some grit, and I'm proud of our guys.
It's a little past 9:30 here Pacific time. What are the kids doing at home right now?
They better be asleep because they got school tomorrow, so hopefully they sleep. If not, that's going to be a problem, but hopefully they sleep.
Well, Russ, congratulations and Happy New Year. Thank you.
Man, same to you.
Westbrook with our George Sedano. First game that the Lakers win when Westbrook scores 20 points this season. They're now 1-6. LeBron James, Anthony Davis did not play. Timberwolves a 113-106 win.
You by Minister Patrick Cannon at Walnut Hill Church of Christ on Moores Lane in Texarkana, where they are trying to make a better world.
Bob Del Giorno for Pleasant Grove Family Dentistry, where dentists Dr. Torin Maracino and Dr. Nick Cockrell, who are assisted by Rhonda and Katie, are where our whole family goes for
coach again. And part of it is because of whatever this bag of crap was that Russell Wilson rolled out this season. That guy has no chance whatsoever of getting an opportunity of being a head coach again. Like, there's a certain stink or a certain stigma that comes with certain coaching regimes and certain times as a head coach in the NFL, and you never really sort of look at those guys the same. Like, you just, for whatever reason...
To get the rest of LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, and Jonas Knox, podcast by searching 2 Pros and a Cup of Joe. Listen to 2 Pros and a Cup of Joe weekdays from 6 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. This,
keep it on the down low here,
is the Dan Patrick Show.
If I have a conversation, at what point does it become an interview? If I'm the owner of the Carolina Panthers, if I just have a conversation, am I interviewing you? I mean, if I sit at the dinner table with my wife and I ask her questions, I'm not interviewing her. We're having a conversation. We're just having dinner. But I wondered about that, where you go, Jim Harbaugh can say, you know what? He just wanted to pick my brain. I took the call, just wanted to, have a conversation with him. I got some players that maybe the Panthers could be interested in, leaving Michigan.
There you go.
There's a lot of ways to sort of massage this a little bit. I think Jim Harbaugh is done in Michigan. Now, I don't know. I haven't been told anything. I'm just looking at this from afar.
Dan Patrick.
The Dan Patrick Show. Weekdays, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. The Doug Gottlieb Show.
Is there a doctor here?
Listen.
Even the Bill's given us, hey, we showed signs of improvement. What does that mean? And I think we all just want to hear he's going to be okay. Maybe that's just what my ears want to hear. Tell me he's going to be okay, and then I can worry about all the rest of this other stuff. I don't believe there's a scenario which is fair and equitable for everybody involved. There's not. Which, by the way, probably why the league wanted to take a second before they thought about.
is in control of major college sports. It is being run exclusively by money. College football in particular has become another professional sport. Players are getting offered $5 million to transfer from one school to another. The fault for that, if you don't like it, and I don't, goes directly to the people who were dragged into court kicking and screaming because they wanted to fight over turkey sandwiches.
Greeny, weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Plus, you can watch and listen on the ESPN app.
Sports Center All Night continues with Jay Reynolds.
If you've coached a team, perhaps your kids, you know one of the big problems? Parents. We're taking you to Key, Jay, and Max, 6 a.m. Eastern here on ESPN Radio Sports Center All Night, presented by Progressive Insurance. We know the stories, the controversy in the discussions over the lineup for Team USA during the World Cup. There was speculation throughout about why Gio Reyna was not being played. After the tournament, word getting out that he wasn't playing because of his attitude. Coach Greg Berhalter noting that Reyna was nearly sent home. Berhalter, former Team USA player himself. So was Claudio Reyna, Gio's dad. He was a teammate of Berhalter. They're friends. Berhalter's wife, Claudio Reyna's wife. They're former teammates, roommates, close friends. Everybody's tight in this circle. Danielle Reyna, the wife of Claudio Reyna, mother of Gio, says she told U.S. Soccer sporting director Ernie Stewart about Berhalter's past domestic violence incident because she was frustrated with the situation involving her son's lack of playing time. Former U.S. men's national team member Taylor Twellman.
Perplexed, confused. Quite honestly, it's sad to me. I think in a nutshell, it tells you where U.S. soccer is in the state of U.S. soccer, the fact that we are talking about this, the fact that the Berhalters have to relive this in front of the public and in the public's eyes based on what reasoning? Because he didn't play and son. But the truth of the matter, and we're not talking about what happened on the field. We're not talking about that. What's the point of this? It is saddening to me. That's the one word I would use. It is extremely sad that we're at this point.
Berhalter's contract ended after the World Cup at the end of the year. His status now very much up in the air, as is Claudio Reyna's status in his positions in MLS. Sports Center All Night, ESPN Radio. For Wednesday's Top Sounds, let's turn to Steve Lennox.
Number 5.
Jay Cavaliers hosting the suddenly cooled off Phoenix Suns. Game tied in the closing seconds of regulation. Here's how the Cavs went front for good with a call from WTAM Radio.
Mitchell now against Shamet. Mitchell in the lane to Mobley. Short shot. Good with 4 seconds to go. Number 4 scores the bucket with 4 seconds to go and gives the Cavs a 90-88 lead.
Number 4.
Red hot Brooklyn Nets looking to extend their win streak to 13 in a row. And Chicago Wednesday night Bulls, well, they had other plans. The call, 670, the score.
Over the midcourt line, Levine, 15 on the clock, and this crowd loves it. They are on their feet after a tough loss at Cleveland. In fact, 2 devastating defeats to the Cavaliers. One here at the United Center, one in Cleveland. They have bounced back and answered the call tonight. A 24 violation on the Bulls. 11 seconds remaining, and the Bulls are about to snap a 12-game win streak by the Brooklyn Nets, as Kyrie will walk it over the midcourt line, and this ball game is over. Bulls win! Bulls win! Bulls win! Let's dance! 121-112, Bulls.
Number 3.
Sixers home against the Pacers. Tobias Harris sending the game to overtime. Here's a call from 97.5, The Fanatic.
Forcing him to the right side. Here's Halliburton to the lane. He lost the ball. Sixers ahead of Maxey. Maxey in on Turner. Drives it. Scoop. No. Whistle. And a basket by Harris. Ties it. 120 all. 5 seconds to go. Halliburton with the ball. Indiana can take the lead. Buddy Hield with one. He puts it in the air. No. Overtime. Maxey and Harris saved the Sixers.
Number 2.
Warriors at home in San Francisco looking for a 6th straight win. Game tied at 119 against the Pistons, and it looked like Detroit and Golden State were heading to overtime. Sadiq Bey said, nope, I'll just end it right here. The call, 97.1 the ticket in Detroit.
1 second remaining in a tie game. Hayes gets it in. Sadiq fires. Sadiq Bey just hit it. He nailed it. Wow.
Number 1.
And we closed, Jay, with the Bucks and Raptors in Toronto. Looked like the Bucks were going to cruise to the victory, but the Raptors rallied late in the fourth quarter to force OT. And in overtime, Giannis was in a giving mood. The call from WTMJ Radio in Milwaukee.
Fans raise the volume. Giannis drifts to his right. He's being pressured on the outside by Anunoby. Spins into a crowd, passes to the corner. Catch and shoot 3 for the lead. Grayson Allen sticks it with a cold-blooded 3 with the nerve of a cat burglar.
Off the assist from Giannis, who has a triple-double. He also has 173 points over his last 4 games. College floor, rough night for number 16 Duke against NC State. They lose by 24. NC State an 84-60 win. Duke 24-point loss against an unranked opponent, their largest since 1978. Arkansas 74-68 win over Missouri. Are the Bengals prepared to move on to Week 18? That's next. SportsCenter All Night continues. It's ESPN Radio.
Coming up Thursday, will Aaron Rodgers, yes, that Aaron Rodgers, ever win another Super Bowl? We'll have the answer on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, Thursday, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, ESPNU.
The top headlines are next on SportsCenter All Night.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
Thursday's a big time. I get D. Wood and Dan Orlovsky to join the best debate show in the business. First Take starts at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.